The way I feel it, there is globally so much being rearranged right now. What comes in for me is like, it's a void space. We're in a void space. We're in a, maybe even in the eye of the storm. But a storm has a lot of distraction and a lot of destroyment. And it depends where somebody is. If somebody travels with the eye of the storm, then it just goes along, and the quietness and the observation remains. And imagine if you just go along within the eye of the storm, you just observe what's happening with the storm. And if it gets destroyed around you, you don't have much emotions, you just observe. In combination with that void space, I think you are very much called to either make these small adjustments that we still can do, or that we are required or called to do. And on the other hand, be encouraged enough to not go into motion and to not go into too much motion. Stay a little bit in motion, but not in over motion. I think it's a very, very important topic about this. How do we act, react, stay within our life right now? There is so much being stirred up so it can fall into its right place. I say that since a few years now, but at the beginning it was the beginning of the stirring up and falling into its place, and now it's picking up. It's picking up on speed, it's picking up on relevance, it's picking up on importance, it's picking up on volume, on how much. I think that tiredness, fatigue, and even almost being numb wants to bring us to the point of the core, actually. Wants to challenge us to find out, where do we lean back into? And with that, we find out where we really are. Where does it draw us to? When you're that tired, you have only one place you can relax into, or where you can stay, or be. I mean, sometimes it feels like you just want to keep on going back to sleep. And then when you lie down, and even if it's a power nap, it brings you to a different place. First, it brings you to the that you allow yourself to take that break, even though the whole world would tell you you need to move, you need to, it's Monday, it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday, you need to do something because it's a work day. Maybe you're challenged with financial issues, with other duties that should be done, and so on and so forth. And if we just keep going the same way we have been going, then how do we transform something? If we live the new, then we live out of the moment. And if the moment says you're numb today, relax or sit still, then do that. If you feel like you want to sit on the bench before your house and watch the birds, then maybe that's what the world needs of you right now. And as we are still traveling between these different worlds, I think the people who really listen to what's up support the ones who don't listen. They still give them the chance to pick up on what the other ones do. Okay, my Lemurian message is, we will, in a few years even, wonder how could we have ever been in this numbness that we are today. And I'm talking about communication. Today we rely on computers, on cell phones, on everything that we can only perceive with our eyes and with our ears mostly. And what is that? That's like a prison. Because all other senses we just cut out, or most of the people cut out. We are growing into the age where we perceive and communicate in completely different ways. And we will laugh about everybody needing devices. For what? We will say, for what? And we will look back and say, humanity has prisoned themselves. They have imprisoned themselves and didn't even realize it. Because of that, we don't allow ourselves to be calm, or to just sit there and observe maybe nothing. Observe the void. And now I would like to span the next loop into what is it? Active presence. What is active presence? Active presence for me is to be still, to be present, and to remain present, which means to remain present in the moment, because most of the time we are driven away by thoughts, driven away by something that happens, driven away by a message that comes in, driven away with a wish, with a dream, or with what bothers me about myself. What could I work on next? What could I do better? Or even I mean, even what could I cook for lunch, for dinner? What am I gonna buy for foods or whatever? I mean, gosh, because this world is so extremely busy, we think we need to at least be busy with our thoughts. At least that, if I just sit here, then at least my brain needs to work or rattle. Does it? Does it really? Active presence is what you maybe would think of Buddha. He was very active present. When he was sitting on the river, I mean, that's the image that keeps coming in for me, is sitting on the river and getting the knowledge of all, or getting the connection of all. When you get that far, as Buddha did, then you are, I would say, actively present 24 hours a day. If we want to go a step further into the active presence, then you really connect to what you're doing. Not only be present, but take it a step forward and be one with what you're doing. If I say be active, present with yourself, I mean, if you do that, if you cut your carrots, then you're actively present cutting carrots. But if I say, what would you do if I ask you to be active, present with yourself? What are you doing then?
Nothing. Just sit there.
And you can, when you do that, you spiral in more and more and more into a very strong presence, into a very, very powerful, active presence. Never mind what's coming up. I mean, maybe it's something easy like garden stuff, or it's really heavy stuff with whatever disturbs us in our lives. And I think it's very, very, very important at the moment to keep going back into this awareness and presence. No matter what it is it an active presence with ourselves, or is it a presence, like you said, cutting vegetables or cooking or whatever we're doing? Be focused on what we're doing and finished.